Good afternoon, students. Now we are going to move towards the end of the description of an elementary school classroom in a slum by Stephen Spender. And this is Mrs. Banerjee explaining the poem to you. In the first two stanzas already we have seen that how the poet has talked about the social injustice and class discrimination and the injustices being meted out to these children who live in slum areas. Now let us proceed on to the third stanza. The poet says, "Surely Shakespeare is wicked and the map a bad example." Why is Shakespeare wicked? Because the picture of Shakespeare, which is being hung in the wall of the on the wall of the classroom, seems to be wicked for these young children. They hardly have any idea who Shakespeare was. Moreover, his writings were mostly based on the haves, and it did not include the have nots much, and that is the reason why he has been considered to be wicked by the slum children. And the map, these open handed maps, are bad examples because they do not include the slums in it, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal. Moreover, these pictures of valleys, rising sun, beautiful places, they force these children to steal. They force these children to run away from these cramped holes where they are confined and they are forced to live in, for lives that slyly turn in their cramped holes. The cramped holes refers to their houses which are similar to cramped holes where they are forced to spend their lives. From fog to endless night, and their lives move from fog to endless night, that is, from dull, bleak condition to everlasting darkness, and it seems as if they have no escape from it. On their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel. The slag heap refers to the slag heap or the dump of garbages which are present in the slum areas, and around which these slum dwellers build their temporary homes. So these children spend their lives in these slag heaps. And the clothes that they wear, they are so thin that their bones seem to be peeping out of the clothes, that is clearly visible. They are so malnourished, malnutritioned, and the spectacles of steel with mended glass. Now, because of lack of proper food, these children have to wear spectacles. They have lost their eyesight at a tender age, and yet these spectacles are broad rimmed, heavy spectacles whose glass or lenses are also not proper. They look like mended glass. They look like glass which has been broken and stuck on the stones. All of their time and space are foggy slums, so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. So the poet says that they end up their life, they begin and end up their life in foggy slums only, and there is hardly anyone to show sympathy to them. And if this continues, their maps will all be blotted with slums as big as doom. Here again, the poet has used several literary devices, like surely Shakespeare is an example of alliteration, where the consonantal sound S has been repeated. Like bottle bits on stone, again is an example of alliteration as well as simile. Simile, I believe you know, where there is an explicit comparison between two objects with the use of the words like, as, or like. Here, the spectacles of the children have been compared to bottle bits which have been stuck on stone. Where skins peep through by bones is an example of metaphor. The children are so lean and thin, it seems that their skin is a thin layer which is on top of their bones, and the bony ribs are clearly visible through it. Spectacles of steel is again an example of metaphor, and slums as big as doom is an example of simile. In the last stanza, the poet seems to be appealing to all those people who are in power. The poet feels that if these powerful people come out to help these children, then they will be able to free themselves from the dull and bleak life that they are forced to live in. And so he says, unless governor, inspector, visitor, this map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. So he says, unless people in power, such as the governor, the government officials, the inspectors, the visitors, they come out and lend a helping hand to these children, they will not be able to come out of these windows which close upon their life like catacombs. Catacombs are graves, tombs. Break, oh, break open till they break the town and show the children to green fields and make their world run azure on golden sand. The poet wants all of us to break open these shackles, these bondages of differences which exist amongst ourselves, caste, creed, sect, and all these differences, as well as the difference of the rich and the poor. If we will be able to break all these shackles, we will be able to show these children to green fields. These children can also enjoy the beautiful places of nature and make their world run azure on golden sands. They will also be able to enjoy a clear blue sky and enjoy the golden sands and let their tongues run naked into books with the white and green leaves open. So they will also get an opportunity to acquire proper education. The white and green leaves, the white leaves refers to the leaves or the pages of the books, and the green leaves refers to the leaves of the nature. They will be able to study as well as they will be able to enjoy the bounties of nature. History is theirs whose language is the sun. Here, the poet has ended with a positive note. He says, history remembers only those people who are educated and have enlightened themselves for a better world. Those people can only make history who have acquired knowledge, who have been enlightened. So, the poet appeals to everyone that if everyone tries a little, they will be able to give them a proper life. Here again, we have seen that the poet has used various literary devices, like catacombs is an example of simile, let their tongue run naked into books is an example of metaphor, and the white and green leaves open is again another example of metaphor. Thank you and have a nice day and enjoy seeing these videos more and more. Thank you.